Welcome to the midterm exam training video for minor cross-cultural business skills. My name is Sander Schroevers for the Amsterdam University of Applied Science. In this video, you'll learn more about the midterm exam, which accounts for 5 credits of a total of 30. In order to pass the midterm exam, you need to have a minimum score of 5.5 on a scale to 10 or more. I kind of think you can do better. The midterm exam, like any exam at CCBS, is a computer-based exam, and that means you need to go to a computer room. The point is, we don't know where. That is all centrally organized by the exam organization at FPE, and that means we have several buildings, and it depends on where they have the availability of computer rooms in the size that we need. So it might be at our own building, but it could also just be somewhere else. You'll be notified. The moment I know, I immediately will post it on Facebook. The lecturers at CCBS do not know anything about this, so when we know, we share. Then you have 60 minutes exactly to do the exam at your computer. I think you'll be getting a hyperlink and a notification from the general exam organization, and they might have a little tool online so that you can learn a little bit how the software works. Basically, it means that you can navigate through all questions as you like. We have a total of 30 questions for the 60 minutes. It's all multiple choice, and the majority of the questions will be in the true-false format, although we also have quite some that are in the ABCD format. Basically, everything you need is in textbook. If you didn't get it, run. The campus bookstore on Vrijlamerborg study store sells the copies as hard copies, and you can also buy them online at studystore.nl or amazon.com. But mind you, shipping might take some time. I should warn you, if you use an older textbook, please be careful, or at least copy the missing pages, because try to use the most recent ones, because I think that's better. From textbook, the only thing we ask is 5 chapters. And these chapters are, 2 of them are in the writing assignment arena, so basically on citing sources and a style guide chapter. And we have 3 chapters that are referring to specific country knowledge. And we have the countries France, India and Singapore. If I look at the 2 first, the country profile, writing assignment chapters, citing sources is about bibliography and how you use APA references and sourcing. And what we want actually is that you just get the basic idea of it. We're not going to ask all the comma and italics details. We want you to read the chapter, that's for sure. The second one, the style guide, the same. It's more the generic things that will be there, but it's not that we ask a specific detail. It would be unfair. But why we have made this a mandatory part of the midterm exam is simply that since we started to do that, the quality of the CPs gets so much better that it's worth it for you and for me, because we get a better book in the end. It is a computer-based exam, and that means that we have the answers relatively quick. I think at the max 1.5 to 2 days waiting, that's really it. The way it happens is that we get an Excel with all the scores in it, but then we need to look also at the individual level. If a majority of students gave an unexpected or strange answer to a question, maybe the answer is maybe the question is wrong. So 2 lecturers, we call it the 4I principle, will need to assess that, and that takes a few hours, and then we need to make decisions. And from that moment on, we can know what is the score, what we call the cutoff score of the formula for multiplying the amount of right answers to a grade. In Dutch it's called a césure. Once we've done that, relatively quick, I can make a grade list that I will upload as a PDF. It's anonymized, meaning that we only show student number and result. That will be uploaded on OneDrive in folder 1 called semester info, just in the root of that one, and I put a notification on the Facebook semester page. We don't mail for that matter. In order to pass it, you need a minimum score of 16 correctly answered questions. And that's easy peasy when it's 30 questions now. let me give you 3 sample questions. The first one. The question basically says that, if you're in India, it's better to have, when you had business agreements, to put them on paper, because that's legally binding. Is that true or false? And the correct answer, actually, from my own experience also, it's false. People in India do not tend to see it really as legally binding. It's more guidelines, and situations might change things. This you will find in textbook. Sample question 2. The art of oratory skills, meaning nice talking, is much appreciated professionally in France, Singapore and India. Around this we have 4 combinations, like all of them, none of them, and then 2 combinations of which mix. The right answer would have been, in France and India it is appreciated, in Singapore it is not. Where do you find that? Actually, you need to read all 3 countries and you need to see if there's any comparison between them. Easy. Sample question 3, and my last sample question. If I see a nice picture or a table or anything, a photograph on the internet, I don't need to ask, I don't need prior permission from the author or copyright owner. That is true or false? Anybody can dream this answer. It is false. And that we want, you to tattoo on your own. No, just memorize by heart. Because it's very important for the book that we don't get any trouble there. So you can see also that for the writing part, they're not the most difficult questions. However, please read both chapters from beginning to the end. In the test design, or in Dutch toetsmatrijs, you can see how we have weighted the different type of questions, the different topics or chapters, and the kind of knowledge behind the question. Is it factual knowledge? Is it more an analytical knowledge? Is it more where you can benchmark and compare and evaluate? So most of your, skills are there addressed, and you can pause it here and take a look at it for details, or I like to refer you to textbook where it's also there. Then I already mentioned a little bit, do we know where the exam is? We don't, we just don't. It's centrally organized. I don't even know which building. I certainly don't know which rooms. But what I can tell you is that when I know it, you can immediately see it on Facebook. So please don't call us, please don't text me, please don't add me. We don't know. What is the case is that in the beginning of the day, they will print out a form like that, and they will indicate it, or often it's on the whiteboards on wheels next to the entrance of the building. Please take a look there, and maybe some of you that arrive a little bit earlier could make a photograph and post that on Facebook. Me, I'm often abroad, so usually when there is exam days, I'm gone, so it's more on you. At the moment you see it's in beautiful Dutch. I asked them, could you please A, mention the course name, not just the sys code, and B, a lot of my students don't speak Dutch. So if not, but still otherwise please help a little bit on Facebook. Much appreciated there. Strict, so strict they are. The thing is that we work with Randstad, which is a placement office where we rent people to be invigilator at the exams. They have very strict protocols, and they like to really be strict about it. So if you get angry at people, please don't make any noise, because you're going to disturb the others. And basically, anger doesn't help, just concentrate on the questions and getting a good result. That is, anger is counterproductive and doesn't make you a better, you know what I mean. So here are some of the rules, but there's plenty. You're not allowed to wear any hats, you're not allowed to have any phones, your coats and your stuff need to be somewhere in a corner. They're pretty detailed on this. If you're late, you can only enter after 20 minutes. Even if you're 1 minute late, you still have another 90 minutes to go. And that's the only time. And you don't actually get extra time. Sinterklaas is back in town. If you want to go to the restroom, the toilet, the play, no, only if you finish your exam, or if you have a medical statement, and then actually they will go with you to the restroom. So that's it. If you're ready earlier, when can you leave? Only one time at 30 minutes, and for the rest you have to be super quiet. You enter with your student card, but now I believe they also want you to bring an ID. So if you have a smaller ID, a driver license or a passport, please bring it. It would be such a pity if you study hard and you forget these cards, you don't enter. And they're really strict. I warned you here. Also, you're supposed to register for any exam. If that's difficult for you, because you're from another university or you're an exchange university with not the experience in doing so, ask your teammates, or if you really get stuck, go to the help desk on the first floor, because actually, as a lecturer, I cannot do it. And B, I don't even see it, because the environment that we have at CIS looks completely different than what a student has. So I'm not the one that is able to help you there, but of course I will push to the organization also with a complete listing of my students. So we're there to support you, but I'm not capable of solving your problem. I'm sorry. Review, inzage in Dutch. Can I see my results? Actually, you can't. It's a computer exam, all I get is an Excel. So what we can do is, and actually I'm not allowed also to show you the exam questions, simply because we work with a database, a so-called item bank. And that means that there's a couple of hundreds of questions for exams, and since it's generated, it means that the question can always return in a future exam, and therefore it's not allowed. What we can do is that we can discuss it orally at discretion of the instructor, me or Einor. And its review is individually and on appointment basis only. Dyslexia, I want to keep it short. If you want to read more, please refer. We have a whole subchapter in textbook, and here you can pause. But what it means is that you need to, you can get 15 minutes extra, but you need to have organized a couple of things beforehand. If not, please get in touch with the part-time academy student counselor and ask the secretariat as well. They do need a proof. And that actually brings me to the end of the midterm exam training video. I would like to refer you to a textbook where we have also some tips how to ace at any exam. And it involves how the mind works, how you can study best for multiple choice exams, and also tips that you should send your spouse or boy or girlfriend on safari, and that if they really love you, they let you study. These kind of things should help you to and study hard. You know, work hard, play hard, work like a madman, mad woman to prepare for high scores, because anything below a 9 or a 10 is not worthy of us and you. And then if you've made it, you celebrate. So I hope that a lot of you will be happy. From experience, the days after the exam, students can really look nasty at me. You get these looks like this because they thought they were really difficult questions. The thing is, they look really difficult, because we also have an accreditation and an audit. People are looking over my shoulders if it's difficult enough, so stuff looks greatly difficult. However, if I look at the final results, you're really going to be a dodo to actually fail the exam. All you need to do is read it a couple of times, get it into your head, and you will make it. So I wish you the best of luck with the midterm exam and enjoy the learning. Thank you for your attention. Ciao.